On June 30th, 2020, YouTuber David Dobrik was filming a stunt with his friends using a rented excavator sitting in waist-deep water. He tied a 30-foot rope to the machine's arm, letting his friends swing through the air like a ride, while he spun the excavator around to build speed. When Jeff Wittek took his turn, things went horribly wrong. Dobrik spun the machine way too fast, about 24 times per minute, double the safe speed. Jeff was swinging at about 45 miles per hour when Dobrik suddenly stopped the machine. The rope went slack and Jeff was violently thrown forward, smashing face first into the steel. Through the air and crashed into the lake. At the hospital, scans showed serious injuries: 9 skull fractures, a shattered eye socket, a broken hip and ankle, torn knee ligaments, and a nearly severed optic nerve. Surgeons had to insert metal plates and rebuild his left eye. He was warned he might go blind in that eye. Over the next 18 months, Jeff had 8 surgeries and months of eye and brain rehab, sharing his recovery in a 5-part YouTube series watched over 30 million times. In June 2022, Jeff sued Dobrik for $10 million, saying the stunt showed a complete disregard for safety. Court documents revealed there were no permits, no safety experts, and no insurance for the shoot. On September 5, 2020, a family gathered in El Dorado Ranch Park on the outskirts of Yucaipa, California. The temperature hovered near 100 degrees Fahrenheit, humidity was single-digit, and the chaparral was baked tinder dry after a record-hot summer. At 10:23 a.m., their smoke-generating pyrotechnic, Blue for Boy, ignited waist-high grass. Within minutes, a wall of flame was racing up the canyon walls toward the San Bernardino National Forest. Over the next 73 days, the El Dorado Fire carved a blackened scar across 22,744 acres, about 35 square miles, of oak woodland and mountain chaparral. Evacuation orders rolled through Oak Glen, Mountain Home Village, Forest Falls, and Angeles Oaks as columns of smoke towered above Interstate 10. State Route 38 closed for nearly 2 weeks. Ash drifted as far west as Los Angeles County. By the time containment lines finally held on November 16th, the fire had destroyed 20 structures and damaged 6 more.
Here's where it's going to cross. Spot! Shit, that's well established.
Alpha, if we could get a water tender, that'd be great. Engine 107, 706.
Park at El Dorado Park. That's the forest boundary, about 100 feet up. It's well established.
can you show me on scene the Dorado Fire?
The human cost was heavy, lives lost and lives changed forever. On the night of September 17th, 39-year-old firefighter Charles "Charlie" Morton died while working on the steep slopes of San Bernardino Peak. He was the only person killed. 13 other firefighters were injured, suffering burns or broken bones. At the height of the fire, more than 24,000 people had to leave their homes. Financially, the blaze left a deep crater, $42 million in suppression costs, millions more in property loss, watershed damage, and post-fire mud flow mitigation. On July 4th, 2024, in Atlanta, streamer Kai Cenat started a special 4th of July livestream with Mr. Beast as a guest. Behind them sat 31 boxes of fireworks, and over 300,000 people were already watching live. About 30 minutes in, AMP member Davis Dodds ran on screen holding a big firework meant only for professionals. Kai shouted at him to stop, but Davis lit it and ran off.
Oh God, I'm dead ass.
Bro, stop! What the fuck? You're not doing that shit. Oh God, you're gonna pay for everything I got, bro. You're paying for everything I got. What am I gonna do? You like that shit? I swear I'm gonna. Bro, stop playing with me, bro. Stop! It's not. You're so dumb.
Watch out!
Watch out,
nigga.
I'm not.
Watch out!
Hey, what? I'm not fucking. Stop! I'm not doing that in my room. What am I gonna do?
Watch the fuck out,
That's
nigga.
July 4th.
Hey, watch out.
That's July 4th, bitch ass nigga. Bro, stop! Bro, work to my mother. You do this shit in my room. I'm gonna be dumb tight, bro. I swear to God, bro. Work to my mother. There won't be no crib.
Suddenly, the room exploded in bright flashes and thick smoke. Alarms went off, monitors fell over, and the screen went white. Then the stream cut out.
Hey, y'all gonna hate me, bro.
The video racked up views fast. The original Twitch stream hit 3.5 million views before Twitch moderators took it down and warned Kai he was close to getting banned. Fans started analyzing the video and noticed the room didn't look like Kai's usual setup. Something was off with the walls, outlets, and paint. A day later, Mr. Beast confirmed the whole thing was staged. The room was actually a full-sized fake studio built in a field, made to be blown up safely. A behind-the-scenes TikTok showed a tunnel leading into the set and a crew setting up fireworks with safety gear. The next night, Kai went live again to explain the prank. That stream got 11 million views and became one of the most watched July 4th streams in Twitch history. On April 23rd, 2017, a boy or girl stunt ignited Arizona's Sawmill Fire. Off-duty Border Patrol agent Dennis Dickey set a cardboard target packed with tannerite and blue powder on federally managed grassland near Sonoita. When his rifle round struck home, the binary explosive flashed, dry bunch grass caught, and a tongue of flame bolted away faster than anyone could stomp it out.
Start packing up! Start packing up!
For the next week, the blaze tore across 3 counties. 46,991 acres, about 70 square miles. burned before crews corralled the perimeter. At peak, more than 800 firefighters, 6 air tankers, and a fleet of helicopters fought the line while bulldozers scored fire breaks around the 150-year-old Empire Ranch. Temperatures in the high 90s and single-digit humidity turned every ember into a fresh ignition. Afternoon winds pushed flame lengths past 30 feet. Smoke closed State Route 83 and blanketed Tucson's southern suburbs. The human toll was mercifully light. No deaths, no homes lost. But the financial hit was brutal. Suppression alone cost an estimated $8.2 million. Justice arrived in a federal courtroom. Dickey pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor violation of U.S. Forest Service regulations, drew 5 years probation, and accepted a $220,000 restitution order, $100,000 up front, the balance in monthly $500 payments. On September 27, 1986, Cleveland's public square turned into a colorful scene as volunteers from United Way released 1.4 million helium balloons, trying to set a world record. At 1:50 p.m., a huge plastic net opened and a cloud of balloons floated up toward Lake Erie. But a cold front rolled in, and instead of drifting away, the balloons stayed low and began falling all over the city and lake, still full of helium. What followed was chaos. Burke Lakefront Airport had to shut down when pilots said they couldn't see through the wall of balloons. Highways like I-90 and I-71 were covered with balloons, scaring drivers and causing accidents. In Geauga County, balloons landed in a horse pasture and frightened the horses so badly they were injured, leading to a major lawsuit. The worst outcome happened on the water. That morning, 2 fishermen, Raymond Broderick and Bernard Sulzer, had gone missing. When rescue teams tried to search by boat and helicopter, they couldn't see the lake because thousands of balloons covered the surface, each about the size of a human head. The search had to be stopped. 2 days later, the men's bodies washed up. Their families sued United Way for $3.2 million, and the case was settled privately.
Night against this section of the breakwall off Edgewater Park. That's where the Coast Guard found the boat about 8:30 this morning. Ironically, that big balloon launch in Cleveland today is one of the things that's making this search so tough for the Coast Guard. Can you imagine trying to find somebody floating out here or even spotting a life jacket with all these balloons on the water?
It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack here, because you're looking for more or less a head or an orange life jacket. Here you have a couple 100,000 orange balloons, and it's just hard to decipher which is which.
On July 5th, 2015, around 3:30 p.m., 5 members of the YouTube group Troll Station walked into London's National Portrait Gallery. They wore masks, held cheap picture frames, and played a loud alarm sound, just like one you'd hear during a real art theft. They shouted that the paintings were being stolen, waved the fake frames around, and ran for the exit. Panic broke out. Visitors ran in fear. One woman collapsed and others were knocked over as the crowd rushed out toward Trafalgar Square. Minutes later, the pranksters went to another museum, Tate Britain, and pulled a similar stunt, this time pretending to kidnap someone while the same loud siren played in the background. Both museums went into lockdown and called counter-terrorism police. By the time officers arrived, the group had already left, leaving behind terrified visitors and one unconscious woman who needed medical help. That same night, Troll Station uploaded the video online. It got hundreds of thousands of views, but also a lot of public outrage. Police identified the group within weeks, using their voices and outfits from past videos. All 5 men admitted guilt in court. They were charged with using threatening or abusive behavior meant to scare people or start violence. The punishments were serious: 20 weeks in jail for Helder Gomez Garcia, 18 weeks for Daniel Jarvis, 16 weeks each for Endrit Ferrizoli and Ebenezer Mensah. Cameraman Dan Van Ley was already in jail for a separate bomb hoax video and got no extra time off. And June 26, 2017, Pedro Ruiz III held a thick Spanish encyclopedia against his chest and asked his girlfriend, Mona Lisa Perez, to shoot him. She stood 30 feet away, holding a powerful .50 caliber Desert Eagle handgun with a camera recording. Their goal, to prove the book could stop the bullet and make a viral YouTube video.
Choose that name? Well, everything I'm gonna be showing you guys on my channel, you guys are gonna be saying, damn it, boy. My channel is gonna consist of a lot of crazy stuff, entertainment just for you guys. I'm not into doing all the by the law. I mean, I will if I have to, but my thing is crazy. I'm borderline crazy. You know, my whole thing, I just love the adrenaline.
At 6:30 p.m, Perez pulled the trigger. The bullet hit the book, passed through 262 pages, and still went into Ruiz's chest at about 1,400 feet per second. He collapsed immediately. Neighbors heard Perez scream and saw her fall to the ground beside him in his parents' front yard. Emergency services arrived within 5 minutes, but Ruiz, just 22 years old, died at the scene. The bullet left a small entry wound, broke several ribs, and caused serious damage to his lungs. Police found the bullet stuck in the porch wall 10 feet behind him. Their 3-year-old daughter and many of their followers watched it live on Periscope. That night, Perez, 19 years old and 6 months pregnant, was arrested for manslaughter. She later pleaded guilty and got 180 days in jail, 10 years of probation, and a lifetime ban on owning guns. The judge said their reckless need for online fame made the situation worse. On December 25, 2024, in a growing suburb north of Melbourne, a 19-year-old man from Whittlesea snuck into a construction site on Christmas night. He stuck a PVC pipe into the ground, dropped in a powerful illegal firework, and lit the fuse, but something went wrong. The firework exploded immediately, hitting him directly in the face. He died on the spot. Paramedics arrived quickly but couldn't save him. Pieces of the firework were found embedded in wooden frames 6 meters away. Police seized a Toyota Hilux parked nearby and collected the leftover fireworks and the homemade launcher for investigation. Neighbors said the area had already been hit by smaller illegal fireworks for days. Some said they expected something worse after hearing louder bangs leading up to Christmas. On March 6, 2024, Buckner, Kentucky, a strong, rotten smell like sulfur started spreading through Oldham County High School just after second period. Teachers thought it was a gas leak, pulled the fire alarm, and quickly evacuated all 1,800 students and staff onto the football field in cold, windy weather. Fire trucks, sheriffs, and emergency crews rushed to the scene, treating it as a serious hazmat situation. But when technicians checked the air, they found no gas. Still, the awful smell lingered. Eventually, school staff traced the stench to 2 trash cans outside the cafeteria. Inside was a brown, oily puddle from a prank product sold online called Liquid Ass. By noon, they had a suspect, a 17-year-old student caught on security camera dumping the vial and running off. She told the officer it was just a joke meant to go viral on Snapchat. 7 students said they felt sick or had headaches, but none needed to go to the hospital.